If only you knew that I'm on the treadmill on Timo.
treadmill
I
with
am. That's what's happening. Play the demo. Yeah, it's pretty much just like the same.
It's good.
Without any extra bits. Like we came in and did all the extra stuff on this one.
Back in the saddle again. Back in the saddle again. Back in the saddle again.
I'm kind of relieved to hear that the demo wasn't like way better than the recorded version. You know, like sometimes I always find sometimes you listen back to a demo and you're like, oh, that's the song. That's where the song is. And we just took it in a direction that it totally wasn't supposed to go.
No, it's good. We did okay with this.
I feel like this one's good. It's reminds me, like, with all the songs, how they were all so open. Like when you came in with demos and stuff, like obviously, like, you hadn't done overdubs and stuff in the demos, but I mean, like, the arrangements were really open, because they were all very just like simple chordally, and so there was just like lots and lots of space to embellish stuff without it kind of like getting in the way of the song.
Yeah, and there wasn't anything to like start us in a particular direction either.
Yeah.
The nice thing about this album is like we actually kind of wrote, I mean, the songs are written, but actually like creating the arrangements here. Yeah. So this is the first time that I've done that, which is sick because it had way more of your input in terms of just like even like chords or just little sort of melodic things, I feel like, which was really great for me. Like,
I think it was cool because I felt like you were sort of embracing, like I was saying earlier, you were sort of embracing, exploring new territory melodically.
100%.
So you were kind of like quite into it because like previous stuff that you'd done, I felt like you had a very like clear direction of what you didn't want to do melodically, like because it was sort of more not like darker, but it was sort of like less pretty.
Yeah.
And as a result, you'd be like, even like playing guitar and stuff, sometimes I would suggest something, you'd be like, oh no, more like,
I had a way more clear idea of what I wanted.
Exactly.
But this record, I like relinquished control.
Yeah.
Which is never a bad thing.
No, it was cool because I didn't even really know. I remember a lot when we worked on a lot of the songs, I didn't have any preconceived ideas about where they were going to go.
Yeah.
Or what we were shooting for, which is quite unusual.
Yeah.
Even like for me, I would normally want to have some kind of a mud map of what we were doing, but I feel like this was quite playful.
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was cool to like, well, just having the time in here instead of being like, okay, we're going to do it like in a week or do it in a month. Like we did this over a few years. So it was like I felt that we actually had the ability to play around.
Yeah.
Which was pretty like, it's quite like privileged, I guess, in terms of making an album.
It's kind of what you want every record making experience to be, but it just never is.
We could do that extra the bit with like the poem in it in the actual track.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm still not sold on the poem, but it's too late now.
I was saying the same thing. I was like,
don't say it.
No, it was funny because I remember you saying, oh, I'm not sure about that poem now. And I remember thinking at the time, like, oh, I wonder if this is translating the way you wanted it to. And now it's just like
what it is.
Cooked in there, which is kind of like kind of charming.
I just like because I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll do this. I wanted to just do all sorts of different stuff on this album. And I was like, I kind of want it to sound like in Everlong when Dave Grohl talks about this story about it. And you were like, yeah, sick. And I was like, oh, God. I hope that you know where I'm coming from.
Yeah,
here.
11-year-old Dan would have been pretty jacked on that.
Yeah. He's like talking about like his dad, like holding his dad's work boots over his head or something. I think that's sick.
Yeah,
sort of thing as well when you like listen to a song so many times like that on your iPod when you're like a teenager,
song,
and then you're like after like 100 listens you're like, oh, I can like just hear it. Yeah.
I remember seeing one of these like track breakdowns of the guy that produced that record, and they were talking about that section. And apparently, they, I don't know if it was his partner at the time, but they got her to like call the studio, and they recorded her. She was actually on the phone talking, and they were recording the like.
Cute. Yeah, that's amazing.
That was kind of cool.
That is cool.
That's way cooler than what we did.
Next time. Yeah, do the middle bit that we added in.
Oh, yeah.
Because these chords are nice. F*** me.
Back in the saddle again. Big horse, little horse, big horse, little horse.
I feel like listening back to that now, that song kind of became a blueprint for some of the treatments that we did in the rest of the record.
Yeah.
I reckon.
We messed around with so much and doing all those different vocal things, like different vocal
using the
tones.
BVs as like pads.
Yes.
More than like BV parts.
Yeah, I was just seeing it like having flashbacks of just going
Yeah.
the meme with that Coldplay turtle where it's just like yeah, that was a reoccurring theme, wasn't it?
Just using your voice in like weird textural ways rather than like singing harmonies through the song.
Yes, totally. It was cool. It was such a, in so many ways for this record, it was just, I just want to do something I've never done before.
Yeah.
And just using all different parts of my voice and having the studio, like having made a few albums now as well and being so comfortable with you, like, and having the time to just explore that and treat the voice like an instrument.
Yeah.
As opposed to just singing the songs, just singing the lyrics. It's like, yeah, it was really
also having
good.
songs where the arrangements were so sparse that you could use your voice for stuff and have it not be overwhelmed or like just swallowed by like overdubs and
just like distorted guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
There's just space for it.
Yeah, I think because a lot of these songs we sort of did initial beds for, and then like came back and embellished them in like later sessions.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, to try and give it a bit of like continuity, because I think also because those, I remember, I have horrific memory, but I remember we kind of did it in like batches. So
yeah, I would come in for a couple of days and it would be a few months later come in for a couple of days. Yeah.
So there was a lot of as well like trying to pull songs that might have had a slightly different process or something like that, pull them together somehow. So I think there was definitely sort of a period where once we had vocals and chords down on everything, where we just started trying to add some like through lines, and definitely there's a lot of like mellotron strings on the record, I think, just to try to, probably because initially we were still thinking about having strings on the record in lieu of the Tender as the Night thing.
Yeah, totally.
But then we ended up just kind of going in a different direction.
The mellotron's just so nice and warm and kind of just a bit spookier instead of making it just like super clean, super orchestral. It was like, just wanted the whole thing to just sound like weird, a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Like we talked about Midsummer heaps and the soundtrack to that. Just wanted it to be like creepy. And the opening scene to that where it's just like the breathing scene. Yeah. It's like, that's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forced you to watch that.
Yeah, that's very... I still recall watching that movie vividly.
Yeah, it's so good.
I actually wanted to watch like other movies like it and then couldn't really find anything. I remember watching the Nicolas Cage Mandy afterwards.
Oh, true.
Because I thought, Mandy's sort of in the same vibe as Midsummer.
I don't think I've seen that.
If you haven't, it's one of the best. It's one of the best Nick Cage movies.
Sick.
It's kind of like his girlfriend gets like murdered by these like weird sort of like Christian cult, and then he goes to take revenge on them, but they're sort of like tied in with these like bikers that have like morphed into like weird like pigs from like taking too much meth or taking some like sort of like weird meth, and so they're sort of like they're like wrapped up with the like Christian cult, and then he just like ends up killing all of them.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
It's awesome.
100%. Sick.
It's Nick Cage in full swing.
Back in the saddle again.